Back to where it all began in season 23. This is Zolnir Championship Field from League City, Texas, just south of Houston, where tonight it's the 12-2 Canton Classics versus the 12-2 Mexico City Aztecs for it all here in season 23. Alongside Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine, Ron Haynes, Rochelle Colston, and Justin Reside in our all-star stats truck. It is time, Charles, to crown a champion this season. Will it be Canton's first, or will Mexico City get their first since season 9 and the passing of the late, great Matt Wilson?
Cam, we've got two juggernauts going head-to-head tonight. Stifling defenses. Each defense has a little different style, but they keep their opponents from scoring nonetheless. Offenses, we see a lot of running from both sides. Personally think the team that passes the most tonight isn't going to win. Both teams are going to rely heavily on their run game. And let's see what happens, Cam, because I'm excited, man. This is going to be a great one.
The field is ready. It's a beautiful night in Texas. The ball's on the tee and the hands in the air from Canton. Let's go. Kick it. We are underway from the season 23 championship game, and Mexico City will be the first team to possess the football. It's Jacob Morrison from his 10 with a couple of spins getting out to the 39-yard line. First down for the Aztecs in excellent field position. Jordan Sipe is their quarterback, leading Mexico City to their best regular season in franchise history, tied with season 7 at 10-2. It's been a while, but Ray Bentley was the star of the season 9 championship game for Mexico City when they took out the Chicago Wildcats. He is still back on the field as a living legend and Hall of Famer here tonight for Mexico City. He is in the backfield with Sipe as they start with a 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line. They will send Jonas Adobe in motion in his first season with Mexico City, getting to the championship game. Hand off to Ray Bentley. He is stopped for a slight loss. No gain as Canton's defense has come to play early.
And they're so fast on the edge. The linebackers, they close quickly. I think key for Mexico City tonight is not to go deep drop, get rid of the ball quickly, and make the right adjustments on the line.
Sipe has time. It's picked off, intercepted in the first 30 seconds of the game. That's Terrence Pearson with the takeaway in his first season as a Canton Classic.
That makes it 3 for him all season. Good coverage, and it was basically just a fight for the ball there. There was a lot of pressure, not necessarily in the face of the quarterback, but looks like they had a step there on the edge, and I think Sipe had to make a quick adjustment, and in that case, he made the wrong decision.
First down and 10 at the 40 now. Very similar starting field position for Canton as Mexico City had. As they will start the game with a handoff to Logan Lee. That's no surprise. He is cut down by a couple of Aztecs to pick up 5. Scar Patterson, you heard Mike All in the pregame, Charles. He said we wanted to make sure that he knew we still believed in him. He was phenomenal against Florida.
Definitely. That's the beauty of Canton. If they're not running well, you put the ball in Scar's hands. He could drop 300 yards on you easy.
Handoff, Robert Johnson now running again off that left side. He picks up 3, wrapped up there by John Osiris and Jeffrey Daggs. This Canton Classics offense includes Scar Patterson, Robert Johnson, Logan Lee, and Bill Cherry in the backfield. Ryan Owens, Andrew Gibson, Al Dillapre Sr., and Bob Long at wide receiver. The big tight end, 6'7", 263, is Talon Steele. On the line, Max Van Linge, Adam Chance, Gert Lord, and Kiara Kilganon are those to watch. They have a very talented offensive front as the Mexico City defense shifts. 3rd down and 2. They'll run it again. Logan Lee up the middle, and he is stuffed. Jeffrey Daggs comes over from his safety position to stop him inches short of the first down.
I imagine we're going to be seeing a lot of that tonight, Cam. Daggs and Jackson coming close on the line. I think it's going to be one of the only ways you're going to be able to stop that running game for Canton, and it worked on this series.
Both defenses come away with stops, and for Mexico City's defense, they come away with a stop after their offense's turnover. Morrison returns it up to just shy of the 20-yard line. The Mexico City offense led by Jordan Sipe, Jacob Morrison, Ray Bentley, and Buford Van Dam in the backfield. Jason Bartley, Jonas Adobe, Noe Terrasis are the receivers. Tight ends are Bill Henry and Devontae Richardson. On the line to watch, over yonder 65, Salamina Asalotl, 73, and Tatalani Supremo is number 75. First and 10 at the 20 for the Aztecs. They'll toss it, and Canton all over it in the backfield. DJ Kilganon with the TFL for a loss of 4.
They are aggressive, and they get through that gap so quickly. You have to be able to make those adjustments on the line. When you see them overpowering one of the edges there, you got to make an audible there and maybe do a swing pass, something to get rid of that ball quickly.
4 receivers, 3 off the left side. Sipe rolls to his right, fires back opposite direction. That's a tough throw to complete. It is incomplete. Jason Bartley was the intended receiver. 3rd and long for the Aztecs, backed up in the beautiful Classics end zone.
And I expect to see more of Canton dialing it up on this play. I mean, I think they're kind of, Mexico City's playing right into Canton's hands. I mean, 3rd and 14, that's a nightmare situation against this defense.
7:39 to go in the opening quarter. Both defenses strong as expected. They played a 10-7 Classic earlier this season. They'll dump it off on a screen, but Canton is waiting for it, and Bentley goes backwards again. Another 4-yard loss. Zachary Hamburger, also in his first season with the Classics. On the TFL, Mexico City will have to punt, and Canton is winning the early field position battle.
It's because of the aggressiveness on the line. The offensive line for the Aztecs hasn't been able to stop the onslaught. I mean, it looks like every time on every snap, Sipe's in duress on some level, and they got to do something to stop that.
Wow, what a punt all the way to the 35-yard line, Charles. Mike All mentioned in pregame he doesn't want to see K.L. Barrett flipping the field on him, but he did just that on his first punt tonight.
I mean, we've got some tier players at every position group tonight, Cam, and I'm excited to watch this game.
Canton's offense back out there for their second possession. They ran it 3 times on their first possession for 9.5 yards, but failed to pick up the first down. They have now started drives from their own 39 and their own 43. Hand off to Logan Lee, his 3rd of the night, but Max Jackson is there to stuff him. Only a pickup of 2. The Mexico City Aztec defense features up front Evan Miller, Skylar Kingsley, Dan Tritz, and A.K. Jones. The linebackers, John Fowler, Qualzine Yolia, and John Osiris. In the defensive backfield, Gerard Brody, Liam Ryan, and Marikai Terra play corner. And the Hall of Famers, Jeffrey Daggs and Max Jackson, start at safety. 2nd down. Logan Lee again, and Logan Lee again is stuffed. John Fowler and Jeffrey Daggs there for the combo stop. 3rd and 7. It might be Scar Patterson's first pass of the night.
Definitely, and the Mexico City Aztecs overloaded that side. You don't see that very often against Canton. They're probably the best team running outside. They're great blockers, not only on the line, but the wide receivers are great blockers as well.
Patterson's going gun on 3rd down and 7. He will drop the throw. Patterson fires with pressure. It is caught. Talon Steele to the Mexico City 37-yard line. With the pressure bearing down on Scar, he completes his first pass.
I think championship games, Cam, are made for tight ends. And on this one, you're in a long situation. Who are you going to give it to? You give it to your tight end. Steele's been reliable all season, and Scar knows when to throw it to him.
So 1st down and 10 now into Aztec territory at the 36.5-yard line. Patterson will hand it off to Lee, and again, Logan Lee has nothing there. Pickup of 0, 127 and counting. Watching this 23rd SFL championship game, let us know how we're sounding. 2nd down and 10.
You don't normally see, the defense being able to make their way into the backfield as easy as Mexico City has been on those last couple runs outside.
Aztecs certainly have done their scouting homework on the Canton rushing attack. 2nd and 10. Hand off, Robert Johnson. Nothing again. Impressive. A tackle there from Yolia. It is 3rd and 10.
A lot of credit there goes to Yolia, but she also had some help by Kingsley, number 99, the defensive end. Helped stand up the offensive guard and allowed a route for Yolia to get some penetration and bring down the runner.
Third down and 10. Bob Lung, the somewhat hero of the semifinal against Florida, goes in motion, and Scar Patterson will again convert his second third down and long of the drive. Talon Steele might be the main man tonight of this Canton passing attack, first down into the red zone.
Scar made it easy for Steele. I mean, Steele ran a great route, but just put it right in the breadbasket. You know, he just had to put his hands out there and just fell right in it, and he's looking at a first down, and they're knocking at the door for some points, Cam.
This is a solid drive that Canton has put together, scoring just one touchdown against Mexico City in their earlier meeting this season. The Aztec defense and the Canton defense certainly were up to the task that day. Robert Johnson picks up a yard and a half. Liam Ryan with the solo tackle.
Impressive. I mean, the cornerbacks and the safeties are just, kind of imposing their will on the blocking scheme of Canton tonight so far.
Second down and 8. Handoff. Lee, nothing. Lee lost 2 yards. Yolia with the stop. And a lot of linebackers and DBs making tackles here, Charles, but that front four is doing work.
Yeah, they're very aggressive, and we're looking at the rookie here. So far has been shining pretty brightly for Mexico City. Yolia has been there almost on every play, has been putting her hands on the player.
Third and 10 again. Scar, middle, Steele, first and goal down to the 5-yard line. Talon Steele 3 for 3 on third downs, getting Canton out of jams.
You got to do something. I mean, it's not an exotic route there run by Steele. It's just basically like a fly route down the middle, and turns around. The ball's put right where it needs to be. They got to do something, bump him on the line, maybe switch up coverage on him, but so far he's having his way against that secondary.
Steele 50 yards on 3 catches, all of Scar's passes here on this drive. First and goal at the 4. Logan Lee gets about a half a yard. He's a little slow to get up. Daggs on the tackle.
When Daggs hits you, it's going to be slow getting up. I mean, he has a history of dropping the steel on players that he hits.
Into the Classics end zone. Canton in their standard uniforms here tonight. Robert Johnson breaks a tackle. Touchdown! Canton is in the end zone first. They take a 7-0 lead.
Can't go to sleep on Johnson either. I mean, Lee's sitting on the sidelines getting some oxygen. You bring in Johnson, and you're not losing a step at all. I mean, he's a powerful runner, and as I said earlier, blocking on the edge was solid as well, and they just rambled his way into the end zone, and that was a pretty effective drive there by Canton.
An excellent second drive for the Classics as they were able to get things moving on third and long, no less, and that's what happens when you've got such a great running game. Look at that 4-minute, 33-second drive. When you have such a good running game, Charles, sometimes, if you're Mexico City, what are we supposed to do? Let Logan Lee run for 150 yards, or maybe Talon Steele drops one of those, right? It's pick your poison.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if it was up to me, I would let Scar beat me, because I mean, he's made a couple more mistakes more than Logan Lee has on the field. I mean, no fumbles at all for them. And, it's kind of pick your poison, Cam. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, but, man, they gotta do something. Get rid of the ball quickly, have some creative short routes, get the ball to the tight end, screen passes. They got to do something to keep Canton on their toes.
Morrison up to the 29-yard line on that return. So far, Jordan Sipe is just 1 for 3 for -4 yards and has not completed a pass to a receiver. Buford Van Dam lines up with Ray Bentley in the backfield. Van Dam yet to get a carry, and Ray Bentley has negative yardage as well. Picks up the blitz, and that pass nearly taken away. That was Joshua Durr who got a paw on it. 2nd and 10.
Just not giving time for Sipe to go through his progressions and let the routes develop. I mean, they're overloading either the top of the screen or the bottom of the screen, and it's getting, I think it's getting Sipe a little happy feet in the backfield.
2nd down and 10. We'll see if Sipe can find the open man if Canton brings some pressure here. 4 down linemen, looks like man coverage and a dime look. They bring the linebacker inside. The pass is caught. Bill Henry picks up 7 yards, wrapped up by King Jamal. 3rd and 3 for Mexico City.
I mean, when you're in a bind, get it to the tight end. And now they're looking at 3rd and 3, and they're not a bad position there for Mexico City.
Van Dam offset with Ray in the backfield. Sipe going to throw. Sipe fires. It is caught by Henry in double coverage. Inside 2 minutes to go in the first. Mexico City moves the ball into Canton territory.
How did he catch that ball, Cam? It looked like, I thought that was going to be an interception. It did just what we talked about. Short drop, got rid of the ball quick, in between two defenders. Wow, that was pretty impressive. And I think, Cam, Mexico City's got to put some points on the board because Canton is a machine. They'll just grind it down and keep putting points on the board.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Sipe has to get rid of it. The pass is caught despite the deflection to Noe Terrasas. I actually thought it was going into no man's land. Just enough juice to get there, Charles.
Yeah, I agree with you. I held my breath there for a second. I did not think that was going to be caught. I mean, that was a mallard duck coming out of the hands. And, wow, good presence there by Terrasas to bring it in and keep the team moving down the field.
That one's for you, Matt. Jordan Sipe, 4 for 7, 33 yards. And a pick early. And they're going to stay with this passing attack. Sipe fires down the field. Here's Bartley for the touchdown. Touchdown, Mexico City. Jordan Sipe to Jason Bartley for the score over the top of the defense.
Coverage was pretty good, but the problem is Bartley, he's the fastest player on the field. And, you got to have backup there. Your safety's got to come help you when it's one-on-one with Bartley, because he's going to get separation. The longer he runs down the field, and it's just going to be pitch and catch for Sipe from that point forward.
An incredible response from Mexico City as Sipe, who started 1 for 4 for -4 yards, goes 3 for 3 for 71 on that drive. And Charles, surprisingly, we are knotted at 7, and both teams have scored in the opening quarter.
And Mexico, I cannot overstate the fact how bad Mexico City needed a score on that possession. And they showed how, why they're here on that last series.
Deep kick into the end zone. I think the wind might be blowing from goalpost to goalpost here tonight, although KL Barrett is has one of the strongest legs in the league. Boots that into the end zone, and the ball will start on the 20 for the Classics. What a beginning to this football game. Right now, 66-63 in total yards for these two clubs. Canton 3 for 4 on third down so far. Scar Patterson will fire on first down, and that pass is incomplete. That is the first pass on anything else but a 3rd and long for Canton, and he could not connect with his favorite target tonight so far, Talon Steele.
When you're going up against Mexico City, they're so well coached. I mean, those routes that Steele has been running, it's only a matter of time before the Mexico City secondary makes the right adjustments and kind of shuts it down a little bit.
Second down and 10, 1:03 to go in the first quarter, tied at 7. Scar Patterson to throw again. That pass is incomplete as Talon Steele again had an opportunity to make a catch. He gets speared in the back.
Speared in the back, but in the championship game, you put 1 mid on it, you should bring it in because, every opportunity counts.
Third down and 10. This has been the money down for Patterson, or at least it was on the last drive. Steele has been the target of all 5 of his pass attempts. Andrew Gibson goes in motion. Patterson to throw, now takes off and runs, and Dan Tritz says, "How you like me now?" A drop of 3 in the backfield.
7th sack of the season for Dan Tritz, and it looked like they ran a zone coverage deep, and I don't think that Scar was expecting that. It kind of threw him off. He looked downfield, didn't like what he saw, decided to run with it, and it was just sack time.
Patterson thought he had a lane and could not find the space, so Mexico City gets the stop. We'll have an opportunity to take the lead on the next possession. This kick hangs into the Houston night air. Jacob Morrison breaks 1 tackle and then gets cut down, but not until the Canton 49-yard line. This Canton Classic defense includes Mike All, Jabril Kurse, LL Volt, and Neil Rivers up front. The linebackers, Mark Gronick, Kevin Brackett, and DJ Kilgannon might be the most talented linebacking core in the SFL. In the secondary, Zachary Hamburger, Terrence Pearson, Joshua Durr. The safeties are Kanye Rockefeller and King Jamal. Rockefeller, as mentioned in pregame, 18th season, his 3rd with Canton, but he played against Ray Bentley in that Season 9 title game when he was with Chicago, and they are back on the same field in the biggest of games. Bartley tried to haul that in. He is popped by Joshua Durr, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you not doing any favors for your wide receiver there. I mean, you're just throwing it right into the mixer, and the wide receivers are going to get nailed.
That's what Ramos Lynn calls a hospital pass. 2nd down and 10. Now with trips off the right side. Sipe against a 3-man rush. Dumps it off short to Bartley. Bartley's got some room to run. Bartley turns the corner, gets 8. Just shy of the first down, 3rd and 2.
Does it look like a drag route, maybe run by Barrett and by Bartley? And a smart play, short, just dump it off and let Bartley do his magic. Again, I said he's one of the fastest, the fastest player on the field, one of the fastest players in the league, man. Let him run with it after he catches.
3rd and 2, final play of the quarter. Buford Van Dam, the fullback, has his first carry of the game and gets to the Canton 35-yard line. That is the end of the first quarter. It's Mexico City 7 and Canton 7. You are watching the SFL's 23rd championship game right here on SFL YouTube. Aerial coverage of today's game is brought to you by Dags Drone Works, aerial photography and videography services for real estate events, marketing, and more. Learn more at dagsdroneworks.com. The We Love Houston sign, that footage captured at our most recent convention, Charles, and we certainly do love Houston. That is a wonderful event space down there, our 2nd convention in South Texas.
I love that place down there. It was great.
So, start of the second quarter, 7-7, Mexico City and Canton. Back here at Zolnir Championship Field, Rochelle Colston, Ron Haynes, and Justin reside in our stat truck, making sure that we have all the accurate numbers all night long. 1st down and 10. Handoff to Ray Bentley. Not much room there, only picks up a yard. They are going to credit DJ Kilganon with the tackle.
They're sending heat on every play, Cam. The Canton defense. Perfect time for maybe a play action or a screen pass.
2nd and 9 on the fringe of field goal range. 6 in the box for Canton. They bring them all as Sipe goes down the field. He just could not connect with his target deep. That was Terrasis. Canton brought the pressure and will force 3rd and long.
You have to make a quick decision out there, Cam. That pocket was deteriorating. Had to get rid of the ball quickly. Didn't put enough touch on that ball for his wide receiver, and now we're looking at 3rd and 9.
You got to give credit to Sipe. He has not taken a sack despite that pressure here in the first half so far. Empty. There's no extra pressure or no extra help to assist with the pressure. Navante Richardson goes in motion from right to left. He's come on strong as of late. Just a 3-man rush. Sipe's got a lot of time, but it's breaking down. Sipe now tries to get away, and he gets sacked outside of field goal range. Dropped by Neil Rivers. 4th down.
That is the example of a solid defense when you can do an aggressive rush every down scheme, or you can sit back in coverage and be just effective. On that one, they decided to just sit back and let the ball come to them, and that 3-4-man rush was able to get pressure on the quarterback.
K.L. Barrett Jr. in his 4th season, all with Mexico City, a season 21 All-Star, will try to pin Canton inside the 10-yard line. This is a short kick. Will he get a bounce? He will get a bounce inside the 10, just barely, down to the 9-yard line. So Canton will be pinned deep in the back of their own end zone. 1st down for the Classics in a 7-7 game.
You got to take your hat off to the Canton defense, Cam. It looked like Mexico City was going to quickly put some points up on the board, but Canton defense just dug in and shut it down.
1st down at the 10 for Scar Patterson with split backs in the backfield. Toss out to Robert Johnson. Johnson will push Jeffrey Daggs forward and pick up 4. 2nd and 6, an update on the running game of Canton tonight. Robert Johnson 5 for 12 and a touchdown. Logan Lee 7 carries, 8 yards. Second down and 6. Handoff Lee. And Lee is bottled up. Did pick up a long 2 though. 3rd and a long 3 coming up.
And that's a shocker. Well, they're at 20 yards rushing for Canton. That's crazy.
Yep, there it is. Mexico City's only got 3 so far.
Unbelievable.
It's been Jordan Sipe helping Mexico City keep pace. Handoff Robert Johnson. This time he picks up the key block needed and picks up the first down for Canton.
I think it's the Charles curse. I said it. They're going to rely on the run game, and
well,
here we are.
Well, they were saying in the chat that maybe I cursed Jordan Sipe by not getting sacked, and then he took a sack. So, maybe it's all a law of averages, I guess, Charles, and maybe both were due. Toss to Bill Cherry, and Cherry is dropped. Jeffrey Daggs. Wow, 207 versus 245, and Jeffrey punches above his weight.
And the question is, where is the vaunted blocking for Canton on the edge? I mean, there wasn't anyone there. You had the running back was exposed.
Mexico City getting through as Al Dillapre goes in motion. Nobody but Talon Steele has a target still in this first half. Patterson will throw on 2nd and long. Patterson has time, fires deep, and is intercepted. Picked off, going the other way, John Fowler. Fowler deep against, I believe that was a tight end out there, makes the play, and Mexico City's got the ball back in Canton territory.
You can put Fowler out there anywhere on the field, and he is gonna execute for you. His 4th interception of the season. This is a huge play for Mexico City. I'm sure they're kicking themselves for not being able to follow through on that last series, and now they're in a pretty good position here to make up for it.
That was against Ryan Owens in zone coverage. Right. Can't fault Scar. That's the matchup you want. John Fowler makes an incredible play. First down to the Canton 38. Ray Bentley takes the handoff and picks up 4.
I think we're going to need to get Ray Bentley and his buddies on the bench, getting a little fired up, get some reps out there in order for them to get that running game going.
Bentley's now up to a whopping 1 yard on 4 carries. Van Dam has the 1 carry for 6. Nothing yet from Jacob Morrison except in the return game. Bentley is back there again in the backfield. He'll get the toss behind a Buford Van Dam block, and then a stiff arm, and Ray Bentley still trucking players all the way to the camera truck. 1st and 10.
We talked about the ability of Canton, their wide receivers and tight ends, and their ability to block, but look at this play. Perfect execution. Had that outside set. Van Dam just set her down and let Bentley have a big hole to run in and get that first down.
I'm sure Joshua Durr in the chat is going to be screaming for a block on the back. I wouldn't blame him. That was a close call there from Van Dam, who kind of got him in the shoulder, and then Durr got turned. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line of the Classics. 3-2 defense for Canton. Trips off the left side for Mexico City. 6:05 to go in the first half. Sipe on a drop back, has a clean pocket, fires to the left side. That pass incomplete. Jason Bartley was the intended receiver, but Terrence Pearson all over him. 2nd down.
It took a long time to develop, Cam, and it's enough time for the Canton secondary to kind of close down the coverage deep downfield.
6:02 to go in the first half. Sipe with some immediate pressure. Looked to Bartley quickly, but could not haul it in. 3rd down and 10. Bartley now has 2 catches on 7 targets.
Sipe's getting rid of that ball quick, Cam.
I like it.
He knows. I do too. He knows what Canton's going to throw at him, and he's not holding on to that ball. I mean, I'm sure he's counting in his head. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi throw.
4 wide for Jordan. Took a sack on the last possession on 3rd down. Sipe has time. Finds Bill Henry down to the 5-yard line. 1st and goal for Mexico City.
Get those tight ends involved, Cam. That one was held on a little bit longer, but good blocking up front by Mexico City offensive line, and goes wide open. I mean, what the heck? You can't leave a tight end that wide open.
Jordan Sipe's numbers. He wipes away 3 incompletions, or 3 straight incompletions with that 22-yard reception. He's 6 of his last 10 for 101 yards and a touchdown. Toss play to Jacob Morrison, and Morrison thought he had a lane, but Pearson with another critical tackle on the outside. That's already 4 for him. 2nd and goal.
Pearson's been very impressed in his tackling ability there on the edge with those one-on-one tackles against these quality running backs of Mexico City.
It's 3. Check that. Our That team is so good. They had it in the stat book before I could even look over there. Hand off Ray Bentley. Breaks a tackle. Ray Bentley has scored. And Mexico City has 2 touchdowns on Canton tonight.
Smart play calling by Mexico City. Get your running game going. I mean, I think it flows over to the other aspects of offense. Once you get Bentley going and Morrison and Van Dam starts opening up some routes there for the wide receivers and tight ends, I think they've got something to build on. Clearly, the momentum's in their favor right now.
Ray Bentley coming into the night, 77 yards away from 15,000 in his career. He's up to 13 with that touchdown run, a 7-play, 39-yard drive. Mexico City gets 7 points off of the John Fowler interception. Canton got nothing off of the Terrence Pearson pick. And now trail by 7. They'll get the football back halfway through the second quarter. This one to the goal line will be returned. That's Bob Long. Long outside, makes a spin move and gets to the 21-yard line. I didn't have that on my bingo card tonight, Charles. A tight end with a spin on a kick return.
That was a slow spin. That was like the moon orbiting around Earth.
We love our tight ends, but maybe the spin is
slow.
Yeah, maybe the spin's not for you, Bob. Stick to your brilliant performance route running against Florida and potentially here tonight as the game progresses. 1st and 10 of the 21-yard line. A handoff goes to Logan Lee. He breaks off a tackle, but then is immediately hit by Yolia, her 3rd wrap-up tonight.
That rookie is really playing like a cagey veteran tonight. I mean, that's impressive tackles. She's always where the action is.
4:36 to go in the first half. 2nd and 9, handoff to Robert Johnson. He will get 4, and it's become apparent here tonight, Charles, unless something changes out of the break at the half, Canton's going to need Scar Patterson to deliver some great passes tonight.
Definitely, and I think he's been passing a lot so far. I mean, a lot more than I expected. I like the fact that they haven't abandoned the run. I mean, you got to keep hammering away at that Mexico City defense.
Play action rollout, 3rd and 5. Patterson unloads. He thought he had a receiver open. It was Al Dillapre, but it's swatted down, and Mexico City gets another stop.
Impressive stand by Mexico City. They drive downfield, score, and then the defense digs their heels in and stops the Canton from getting a first down. And right now, everything's clicking for Mexico City.
Canton gave up 17 points on their loss to the Nashville Tempo, but the defense was scoring some of those points for Nashville. Morrison gets up to the 30-yard line. They did give up 17 to Motor City in a close game earlier this season. The most they've given up is 30 to Baltimore in overtime. But it's still pretty unusual to see a team with 2 touchdowns in the first half against the Classics.
Definitely. I mean, and it's good, though. I mean, that's what they need to do. They need to press Canton. If they don't, Canton's just going to keep plugging away and put points up.
Oh, Kevin Brackett just obliterated, to use Canton Duty's word, in the backfield for a loss of 3 yards, and that time the timer from Jordan Sipe did not go off.
I mean, he is overpowered, one of the fastest linebackers in the SFL, and man, when he gets through that gap, if you don't get rid of that ball quickly, he's going to bring you down and get a sack.
Brackett and Rivers now with sacks. 2nd and 13. Blitz is picked up, and Bartley has the first down to about the 42-yard line. Jason Bartley with his 3rd catch.
I mean, impressive by Bartley, but I would say even more so for Sipe. He got hammered in the backfield, just stood up and just executed a great pass play there to move the chains.
TJ Kilganon was applying pressure, but Ray Bentley just kind of got in his way, and it was enough. 3:06 to go in the first half. 1st down and 10 for the Aztecs. More pressure as Sipe's pass is caught by Bartley to the 46-yard line of Canton. That has been the difference in the first half. Charles, Jordan Sipe, quick trigger.
I think Sipe has probably seen at the line where the blitz is coming from. I mean, it's kind of easy to see. I mean, when you get that movement at the top of the screen, you know they're going to overflow there at the top. And he just knows what's coming, and he's able to prepare for it and get rid of the ball, and he knows who to throw it to.
Trips right for Sipe, first down and 10. They're going to keep it in Jordan's hands. Roll to the left, fire down the middle of the field, incomplete. Looking for Bartley again, but it's clear that they trust Sipe's 17 passes against Canton in the first half.
They do, and on that one, that was a pretty big roll of the dice, I think. There was excellent coverage downfield, and man, I think they dodged one on that one, Cam.
Second down. Sipe 9 of 17 for $124. Scar Patterson has not completed a pass since their touchdown drive. Sipe, pressure, backside, lost the ball! Picked up by Canton, and returned and recovered by Jabril Curse. What a play in the backfield!
I think everyone in the stadium and on watching at home knew where the pressure was coming from. I was shocked that there wasn't an adjustment made to get some pass blocking there at the top of the screen. Oh, I mean, I knew it was there was gonna be some pressure on him to impact the play, but wow, you gotta make some adjustments, man. You're gonna get killed.
And I figured Mexico City was going to challenge that. Let's take a retroactive look at the play. Brought to you by Retroid. Get your console to play SFL on the go at GoRetroid.com. This one is going to be close. It always is when you're looking at the throwing motion. It's so hard to tell.
I don't think that was a fumble.
On that review, it looked like his arm was going forward. Let's get the call.
I'm going to be wrong because I'm always wrong.
Nope, you are right. And that is, wow, that is a huge challenge. Huge challenge from Coach.
You are right. You are right.
Coach Ramos on the sideline cheering on Charles's predictions. Third down and 10 coming up, but that is a whole lot better than giving Canton the ball in midfield with 2:35 to play.
They need to look at bringing some extra pass protection in there.
Third down and 10. Two receivers either side for Sipe. They'll just hand it off to Ray Bentley. Bentley got 6. That was a bit surprising, although maybe they're thinking, are they thinking they're in 4-down territory?
I don't think so. I think maybe they're just kind of looking over the defense and saying, you know, you got our backs. Show us again.
Yeah, I think they want to be a little safe. Maybe a little too close for comfort, that last potential turnover, as that punt will not even reach the 20. And it doesn't get as good of a bounce either. Dips out at about the 15-yard line, so 2:03 to go here in the first half. Coming up on the SFL Championship halftime show, Tyler Falk and Mike St. Green break down a punchy first half. Mike puts on his coaching visor, and we look back on the history of the SFL on the Simulationfl YouTube channel as we welcome the new virtual football network. All that and more on the SFL Championship halftime show. 2:03 to go here in the first half. Play action. Scar Patterson has time, fires short. That pass is caught by Dillapre. Turned the wrong way, Charles. He had a lot of space. Ran out of bounds.
Wow, that's unfortunate. I mean, that had the makings of an outstanding play. But at the end there, just I think the momentum of him took him where they didn't want him to be. Let's just say that.
2 minutes to go in the first half here at the beautiful championship field. One of the best things about our move to a new era, Charles, is this beautiful neutral site field we're able to put on every year as Logan Lee picks up a few. Mike Daggs helped out with getting customized end zones this season for teams, and it's always good to see all of our supporters in the stands as well.
You know, and I thought Tyler and Mike St. Green would have gotten the memo. I mean, you and I are wearing a jacket and tie, and I don't know. Maybe we should have sent him an email.
What a shame. 3rd and 5. Patterson is in trouble. Dan Tritz nearly got there. Oh, Bobla nearly caught it off the deflection and got crushed. 4th down. Mexico City's defense does it again.
And they, like I said, they put their confidence in the defense. I know, running there on that 3rd down was a little questionable, but they knew their defense was on fire, and they're stopping Canton. And what's impressing me so much about Mexico City is they're stopping those outside runs by Canton that are so hard to stop.
Deep kick. The wind definitely now in the face of Mexico City. Morrison, though, a bit of an out-kicked coverage, gets the ball up to the 48-yard line. And how about this, Charles? Canton tonight, 9 runs, 18 runs, 9 passes. Mexico City, 9 runs, 18 passes. The exact opposite, and it's the team that's passed more that has the 7-point lead.
I think I might be wrong on my prediction, so hey.
Long game. Long game.
I know. So far, it's not looking good.
Sipe is 9 of 18, 124 yards. His main target has been Bartley, already 10 catches in the first half, 67 yards on 4 grabs, 10 targets rather. Terrasis goes in motion now, all 3 receivers to the top of the screen. Bill Henry's on the line off the left side where Kevin Brackett is. He does not pick up Kevin Brackett, but Jordan Sipe able to deliver to Jason Bartley, and Mexico City will burn their first time out.
And that was such an impressive play there by Jordan Snipe. He knew where the pressure was coming, stood in there and just delivered an accurate pass to the wide receiver, and the wide receiver was in double coverage as well.
2nd and 1 at the Canton 43. And Sipe fires quickly. Bartley breaks a tackle. And Bartley gets to the 35. Tried to get out of bounds, could not. But once more, it's Jordan Sipe's quick thinking that completes a pass down the field and moves the chains.
He's playing so well. I mean, we've seen him a couple times this season. I think this is the best game we've seen from him.
Especially against the quality of talent that he's playing tonight. Against Canton, that pass quickly out to Adobe, and Adobe actually able to get out of bounds, preserves the timeout, 2nd and 7.
Again, smart. He knew who to dump it off to when the pocket was breaking down, delivered a nice pass, and didn't get a sack, and they're able to stop the clock.
.62 seconds to go in the first half frame. Bill Henry goes in motion. Crowd loving this one tonight from Texas. Sipe fires, caught by Bartley to the 23-yard line. That is their final timeout.
And we talked about pre-snap adjustments, and they sent Henry down to the bottom of the screen where it looked like they were doing that overflow blitz we've been seeing from Canton all night, and was just able to shut it down and give time for that, to throw downfield and get a first down.
7 for 92 for Bartley in the first half. But it'll be no huddle from here on out for Sipe. He's in trouble, and Kevin Brackett gets back there for his 2nd sack. Sipe quickly looking for Henry. The pass is incomplete. 157 and counting watching. And if you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. 3rd down and 14 for Sipe against more pressure. Sipe fires, incomplete, just outside of the outstretched hands of Adobe. They'll have to kick a field goal.
Adobe had a step on him too. I mean, just a little bit more to the right, Cam, and I think we've been looking at a different game here. Not game, but a different option here, because that was he had good separation. Adobe ran a great route.
43 yards. The wind is in his face. This is Chaz Blackwater with a field goal that is good. He was 25 of 26 in the regular season, and he sneaks that one past the right upright to put the Aztecs up 10.
Huge to get 3 points out of this, Cam. I mean, the defense gave the ball to the offense and was expecting them to do something, put some kind of points on the board. Even if it's 3, you gotta put something on the board against Canton, because again, they're a machine.
Canton still has 38 seconds in all 3 timeouts, but they have to get out of the give-up zone if they want to continue on. Bob Long on the return, and Long will only get up to the 26-yard line. That's not going to do it. We'll see what Canton comes out with here on 1st down, but it's looking like, Charles, they are going to have a 10-point deficit at the break.
Definitely. They're going to have to make some adjustments there. I think one of them, they're going to have to figure out a way to get better blocking on the edge. I mean, they're taking away a key staple of their offense, that Mexico City defensive coverage on the outside is just shutting down the runs.
1st down to the 26, toss to Lee, nothing there. Max Jackson actually discarded a blocker and picks up just 1.
Discarded. That's a good way to put it. I mean, again, we're looking at seeing Jackson up front and Dags up front, and when they go up there, they just give that extra level of ability to stop the run.
2nd and 9. Ryan Owens goes in motion. His only target picked off by John Fowler on a brilliant play down the field. Hand off to Robert Johnson. That is the end of our first half. Mexico City up on Canton, 17-7 at the break. We'll get our first half performer and all of the relevant stats and highlights as well. Charles, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I was completely wrong on the the rushing attack. Haven't seen a ton of it. A lot more passes than I was expecting in the first half. I think one adjustment that Canton needs to make, which I talked about previously, is they got to come up with a better way to get that better blocking on the edge for those pitch plays and those outside runs, which is a staple of their offense. Mexico City so far has been able to shut that down, and I think we're going to see a lot of Canton still continuing to put pressure on the quarterback on Sipe, but Sipe's been showing an ability to make some adjustments. I think what Canton might want to look at as well is maybe making some adjustments. They've been very effective when they drop back in coverage as well, so maybe mix things up and try and confuse Sipe.
Let's take our last halftime break of the season, our 153rd, presented by Brakes GPT.
We just pulled a full-size Taylor Swift helmet. Shout out to all our Swifties. Travis Kelce. This is a Giants Lawrence Taylor.
Patrick Mahomes.
Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco.
We have a Drew Brees.
Is that an O.J. Simpson jersey?
An Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness.
Tom Brady! Tom Brady!
Show. I'm Tyler Falk alongside Mike St. Green, and it's been a doozy of a first half of the season 23 championship game. 17-7 our scoreline. The Aztecs have a 10-point lead over the Canton Classics. Mike, it's been a punchy game. It's been a very tough game. Walk us through what just happened.
It feels like a championship game, Tyler. Right? You can almost feel intensity through the screen. It's been an excellent first half. Mexico City, well, let's start with Canton. Canton came out, they couldn't really get the running game going. We saw Talon still come through with a couple of huge third down conversions, and I was kind of worried for Mexico City there for a minute. I was thinking, hey, they don't have an answer for this, but they made the adjustment following the Robert Johnson touchdown, and both teams kind of, they couldn't get the running game going, so kind of surprised me to see the passing games going the way that they have for both teams. But Mexico City have obviously been more effective in executing their passing game.
Both teams held to under 40 rushing yards coming into this half. And though Canton is currently leading in the rushing category, Jordan Sipe has done a miraculous job tail end of that first half, tail end of that first quarter, and we have seen him play with just Mike and Cam and
Charles.
Wow, Cam and Charles.
He's forgettable.
I'm still trying to figure everything out, because he says we're not wearing the right uniform. We're supposed to be wearing suits and a tie or something like that. So I'm trying to anything at this point. But
we're casual guys, Tyler.
They were saying that 1 second, 2 second, 3 second throw is the typical quarterback rhythm. Jordan Sipe doesn't even have a single second to throw some of these passes. It's been in and out of his hands so quick. It's like you blink an eye and he's completing another pass.
Yeah, we've seen Sipe do a lot of three-step drop, and when they've gotten away from that, we've seen Kevin Brackett, league's leader in sacks. We've seen him get to him a couple of times, as well as Jabril Curse, even though it was called back because it was a forward pass on the fumble. But the three-step drop seems to be working. We've seen Jason Bartley come through with a couple of huge catches, including the touchdown, and Mexico City seemed to adjust to that Canton Classic defensive line pressure from that front seven very well.
Okay, and all right, Mike, time to put on your coaching visor here for this one as we start to go into the second half. You're inside both teams' locker rooms. You've seen Mexico City. The run game is not working at the moment. However, their passing game is working. On the flip side, Canton can't seem to put a drive together. Three and outs, if we do not include the last drive, which ended in a turnover, not really a turnover and downs, but third down where they just couldn't convert. What are you telling both teams in the locker room for the last 20 minutes of this football game? What are you telling them, and why are you telling them?
If I'm Canton, I'm saying, don't panic. Let's continue to do the things that got us here. We're going to need to find a way to get this running game going to kind of coincide and complement the passing game that we had earlier in the ball game. You're going to need to get Logan Lee going for sure. And then on the Mexico City side, I say keep doing what we're doing. I mean, you're up 10. You didn't expect probably to have a 10-point lead going into the half at this point. Just keep doing what you're doing. Maybe protect the quarterback a little better. But these guys have been excellent on defense, and offense has done enough to get them this 10-point lead.
Okay, and that concludes our wrap-up of the game itself. And for the final time here, Mike St. Green, this will be the final broadcast as the league has known it. The Simulationfl YouTube channel is changing. We have been on this platform ever since the SFL began. We've been over on Twitch, but now comes into a new era, the Virtual Football Network, a network that not only will bring the Simulation Football League continuing coverage here on this channel, but also will bring in other virtual football entities like the new UFL starting up in February of next year. There are plans for the college football dynasty that is going on with Cameron Irvine, myself, Chris Curtis, and a few others also here on the platform and also over on the VFN Twitch network. There's a lot of stuff going on. And for those of you that are wondering, the Simulation Football League, is it going anywhere? What's going on? No, it's all staying right here. All of your past memories from when this used to be known as the Simulationfl YouTube channel and all the history of this league is still staying right here. And so as this is the last game before we transition entities here, Mike, what was your favorite memory of just SFL content right here on Simulationfl?
Well, I go all the way back to the season 13 championship game. I believe it was Atlanta and Sioux Falls. That was the first championship game that, and maybe season 14, if I'm not mistaken. That was first championship game that I'd experienced, and the whole production of it all, and the professional way in which the SFL put on a performance and a championship game, and just even the everyday broadcast that they put together. But yeah, the first championship game that I experienced was Atlanta and Sioux Falls, and I always said I wanted to be a part of it. And look at us now. I'm here at the end of an era at this, and we're going to be moving forward into another era, and would be happy to be a part of it.
Absolutely, I think my favorite memory is a memory that it'll keep on going and will happen again and again and again. It's the drafts, getting to see all the new faces, getting to see the behind the scenes of what goes into decision making, into the final, the final touches, getting to see all the GMs, the owners, all the stalwarts of the game welcome in the new players, the new faces. As we see a lot of older folks that have been here for years. The last time these Kanye and Bentley faced each other all the way back in season 9 championship game. Now we have Logan Lee and Dan Tritz, newer faces in this league coming in around the same time, and just seeing where everyone's journey begins and the stories behind it. To me, that's the best memory and all of that continues. The SFL continues on the Virtual Football Network starting tomorrow after our championship game. But for now, right here, Mike, we still have 2 quarters of football to play pending overtime, and I can't wait to see the conclusion of this one. Final game of season 23 comes down to this: Aztec 17, Classic 7. Who takes it all? Who takes the championship game? Stay tuned. We're about to find out. This has been the Simulation Football League halftime show. Back over to Houston.
Just pulled a full-size Taylor Swift helmet.
Oh, breaks GPT. Is 157 not enough for you? Anyway, start of the second half in the 23rd SFL Championship game. We are back here at Zolnir Championship Field, and that kick from Chaz Blackwater goes out of the back of the end zone. Canton will start with the ball from their own 20-yard line. Charles, what did the concession stand have for us here tonight? Well, I think he's still there.
It would help if I unmuted.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It would help.
Logan, well, hold on a minute. Logan Lee with his longest run of the night gets 9 to start the second half. That's a positive development for Canton. All right, Charles, we're a little rusty here to start the third quarter, but yeah, any thoughts on what was going on at concessions at the half?
Concessions. Looking at the turkey legs, man, those are hot items. They're flying off the charts.
Second down and 1. Robert Johnson has a first down. Robert Johnson actually outgaining Logan Lee in that first half, and that was a bit of a surprise, Charles. But it's a good sign for Canton that they've got their ground game humming a little bit here in the third quarter.
Oh, definitely. I think the pressure's on the Canton offense. I mean, their defense didn't play all that bad. It's just they've been on the field a lot, and the offense hasn't been executing so far.
Good friend of the league, Tim Hackett, in the chat. Happy to see him here from his busy schedule, broadcasting games all across Nebraska. What up, Tim? And hopefully we see more of you on VFN here in a few months. Second down and 9 as Scar Patterson off the 1-yard run from Lee will toss it out to Robert Johnson, who will stick an Aztec in the dirt. An 8-yard pickup to bring up third down and 1.
Now that's a textbook Canton run to the outside. Haven't seen a lot of that in the first half. It's a positive sign for the offense that we see that clicking early here in the second half.
Johnson 10 carries, 37 yards, and a touchdown here to start. A third and short for the Classics in the first half. Canton was 4 of 8 on third down. Logan Lee got a lot of room, and Logan Lee gets it over past midfield. Itera with the tackle, but Canton has found some magic coming out of the locker room.
I think they found some magic and some fire. I mean, it looks like they're, hitting a little harder, getting those blocks a little quicker, and, so far so good.
Bill Cherry came over and whammed somebody right at the last moment to help spring Logan Lee. Lee now up to 40 yards on 14 carries, 1st and 10. Under 8 to go in the third. This is the opening possession of the second half. And the Classics are rolling. Robert Johnson has a wheel fall off. Jeffrey Daggs gain of just 1.
Daggs is so great, and it's very smart to have him up there on run coverage. He is such a great open field tackler.
7.5 to go in the third quarter. 7 in the box for the Aztecs, protecting a 10-point lead. Scar Patterson will drop to throw. Fires deep. It is incomplete. Looking for Talon Steele again, but Max Jackson there on coverage. A lot of deep balls from Patterson tonight. He's 4 for 10.
And now he was throwing it into double coverage. I mean, didn't have a lot of options, but man, that was another bullet. I mean, Max Jackson, it's dangerous because he can bring that in pretty easy.
Third down and 9. Mexico City showing pressure. They only brought Fowler, but the pass is incomplete. Looking for Ryan Owens on an inside slant, and Patterson trying to figure out what went wrong on that throw. Mexico City's defense gets the stop.
Yeah, just that. I mean, I think they started to get something going there on the run, but when they started passing it, it just kind of sputtered, and here we're looking at a punt.
Fair catch called for at the 23-yard line. Charles, we knew that Canton was just they're not gonna just roll over. I'm sort of waiting for Canton to do something explosive to get them right back into this game. They always find a way. Mexico City not making it easy on them.
All it takes is defensive turnover here deep in their own territory, so see what happens.
Aztecs come out in empty on first down to the 23, and Sipe running for his life. Immediately that pass is incomplete and kept alive off a bouncing helmet from Mark Gronick, but unable to come down with it. 2nd and 10.
I would have looked really smart if they were able to intercept that.
If only, Charles.
I know, right?
So close. 2nd down. Bentley just 7 for 19 yards in the first half. Morrison just 1 carry, did not pick up a yard. Sipe under center against a blitz. Got away, and it is caught by Bill Henry. Kevin Brackett almost had his 3rd sack, and Bill Henry comes away with a tremendous throw from Sipe.
Are you kidding me? That right there, I mean, come on. Sipe gets a gold star on that one. Holy smokes. He got hit hard. That was Brackett that hit him, wasn't it?
It's almost like he knew it was gonna happen and felt it. Unbelievable.
Sipe's not a big guy, and it looked like Brackett just bounced off him.
Sipe hands it off to Bentley. Nothing there. Kilgannon shuts it down. Only a gain of a yard. Sipe is 215. Brackett 245. Again, Mexico City punching above their weight and makes a tremendous play.
I'm trying to figure out if that was the best play for Sipe or if it was the Mallard Duck play.
I'm not sure. 2nd and 9. Bentley takes another handoff, delivers a headshot to Mark Gronick on a 6-yard gain.
Like I said at the beginning of the game, or maybe it was before in the pregame, Bentley can be a power runner. He can be a finesse runner. It's just, he makes that snap decision when he gets the ball. And that one, he decided to be power and just drop the hurt.
3rd and 3. Buford Van Dam got the first down. He has been their 3rd down bell cow on 3rd and short. He has 2 of Mexico City's 4 3rd down conversions.
I love seeing a fullback run on short down play and getting the first down. That's one of my favorite plays in the game.
He's definitely not punching above his weight. 6'4", 255. Handoff Ray Bentley. Bentley, stiff arm. Bentley powering to 5 yards up to the Canton 44.
Giving it to him. Keep giving it to him. He only gets better with each carry.
5:20 to go in the 3rd. This is Mexico City's first possession of the 2nd half. So far, it's a good one. Canton went 8 plays and had to punt. This is the 6th play of the drive for the Aztecs. 2nd and 5. Handoff. Morrison. He tried to break it outside. There was nowhere to go. Kevin Brackett with a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, Brackett wasn't going to let a play escape him again. I mean, he's too good to let that happen.
Brackett, 6 tackles, 3 TFLs, 2 sacks. 3rd and 8. Henry in motion. 4-by-1. Canton's in his own look. 5 in the box for the Classics. They drop 8 as Sipe's pass is intercepted. Someone communicated on that play. That one is picked off by King Jamal, diving to the ground to get the football. Canton's got their 2nd turnover.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a smart adjustment there, sending that extra wide down to the bottom of the screen to flood that zone coverage, but that was just, it looked like like you said, somebody missed a route or if it was just a bad pass, but man, that was very unfortunate for Mexico City.
There was nobody over there, and that ends a streak of 5 of 8 completions for Sipe, throwing that interception there. He has not completed a pass over 20 yards in his last 10. First down at the 31-yard line for Canton. Handoff to Logan. Lee lost the ball. It's recovered by Canton. There is an injury. It's Logan Lee. Oh, no. 2 things you haven't seen all season. Lee fumbling and Lee getting hurt. I can't believe what I'm watching.
Oh, my God. Hey, but you got to give credit to Girth Lord for jumping on that ball. That could have been disaster. I mean, it's unfortunate that Lee went down. I hope he comes back, but, I mean, now it's time for Robert Johnson and Cherry to step up.
Wow, what a big play there. Lord recovering the fumble. 2nd down and 12. Now the toss out to Robert Johnson. He is speared at the 30 by Osiris. 3rd and 12 as the coaches will have to make some adjustments here without Lee. 5 or 10 on 3rd down tonight.
I'd love to, I'm excited to see what Mexico City has in store here from a coverage standpoint. Normally they drop back into coverage and let the offense make a mistake. It looks like they're not going to put any pressure on here. Let's see what happens.
We'll check on Lee's status at the end of the third quarter. Scar Patterson going to take off and run. Needs some blocks and cannot get them. Ryan Owens, I don't think, was ready for Patterson to take off, and Canton will have to punt it away and rely on their defense to keep it close.
Great coverage downfield. There weren't any options for Scar. He had to tuck it in and run it, and a good stand there by Mexico City.
Charles Brown is the punter in his third season with Canton. Boots it away. Fair catch from Morrison at the 34-yard line. Mexico City will have to shake it off. And I've got to say, Charles, anytime you throw 2 interceptions and your defense gives up no points off them, it's usually a positive outcome. It's helping fuel the Aztec fire right now.
That's right. I mean, I think they need to just keep that running game going for Mexico City. It seemed like it was starting to fire up on that last series.
Fowler forced the fumble. He also had the game's first interception for Mexico City's defense. First down on the 34-yard line. Sipe going to throw. Brackett bearing down. Jason Bartley is wide open. Jason Bartley, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Aztecs up 16.
That was incredible. You can't let that man go into one-on-one coverage. He's going to burn you. The deeper the route, the more likely it is he's going to burn you. Look at that. Just the speed, the separation. And there wasn't a shot. I mean, there's no way that Durr was going to be able to keep up with Bartley, the fastest wide receiver, not one of the fastest wide receivers in the league.
Charles, Mexico City is proving, I think, to the rest of the league, as Bartley now has 157, that just because Canton pressures you doesn't mean you can't find anything open. And, wow, they have really surprised everyone tonight. Sipe up to 238 passing yards, and Mexico City's up 17.
I think the key is the smart routes. If you're going to send someone deep, it's got to be Bartley because he's got the speed. And, Sipe making quick decisions, not holding on to the ball too long. And it's really, making it unable for the defense for Canton to make any pressure on the quarterback.
24 unanswered points for Mexico City. Canton's defense gives up 182 pass yards per game, and that's pretty darn good, Charles, considering that they're usually ahead in every second half, and so the team trailing has to pass. Mexico City's already thrown 56 yards above that average.
Definitely. I mean, Cam, it's time now for the Canton offense to show us what they got.
Sammy Morris is your back with Logan Lee still out of the game. He'll get a carry, and Morris is quickly shut down by Fowler. Needs some of that Canton blocking back, Charles, but they have not been able to find where the Aztec defenders are coming from tonight.
No, I mean, absolutely brilliant game planning for the defense of Mexico City, shutting down that outside run.
Second down, 11. Hand off Robert Johnson, and Johnson will at least make it a more manageable third down. Fowler on the tackle, his 8th, 3rd and 7.
I mean, and now's the time. You got Talon Steele out there, who's one of the best receiving tight ends out there. Got to get him involved, have him do a route near the first down marker and get it to him.
He does not have a catch since the touchdown drive. Patterson drops to throw, fires deep, caught by Owens. Oh, what a beautiful one-hander. That is your Retroid. Nice hands catch of the game. Brilliant.
That was brilliant. I mean, he climbed the stairs to get that. I mean, one-handed in double coverage. He had Max Jackson and Brody right there waiting to lay the hit on him, and he was still able to bring that in.
Boy, did they need that from Owens. His first grab tonight. It goes for 18 up to the 41-yard line for Canton. Toss, Bill Cherry. Can they get him going? Cherry only 2. He is combo stopped, but Yolia, the main hitter on that one.
All night. Yolia's been doing it all night. I mean, very impressive for the rookie here, right in the bright lights.
Second down, 8 to go. Hand off Morris, nothing there. 3rd down and 8. We'll get an update on Logan Lee's injury at the end of the 3rd. Fowler with another stop.
3rd down here for Canton. You know, I think again, you can't forget your tight end steal.
Canton's yards per carry tonight, well, it's 2.8 yards per play. Scar Patterson's pass is deflected. Dan Tritz getting into the backfield, and the classic fans here can't believe it.
What a stand. I mean, that 3rd down was huge. Canton, they had to execute on it, and wow, that big play there by Dan Tritz, 6'5", 316. It's hard to throw over top of him. Puts those mitts up in the air.
Charles Brown has been busier than expected. Has to punt again. Canton surprisingly reeling a little bit as Morrison gets it up to the 31-yard line. And look, there's a lot of game left, Charles, but if Canton does in fact lose this game, they would not be the first team to go to the championship their first 2 times and lose, especially back-to-back. Dating all the way back to season 1, Oklahoma City now coming back into the league in season 24. They lost season 1 and 2's championship and were never able to win one. The Tallahassee Pride lost season 10 and season 11's titles, both to Florida, and were unable to win one. Sioux Falls went to the championship game, lost to Atlanta and Baltimore. So we have seen it actually quite a bit historically, but Canton, considering that they only have 2 losses in 2 seasons, that would be very surprising. I should say 3, given the championship loss to Florida last season. Noe Terrasas goes in motion. Canton trying to avoid the fate so many have had in SFL history. 2nd down and 10, empty backfield. Jordan Sipes still slinging it against a 3-man rush. That pass is incomplete. Charles, when they've dropped 8, Sipes had a much harder time completing balls down the field.
Yeah, I mean they need to mix that up. I mean, not be so predictable on their defense. And another big stand here for the defense of Canton. They gotta, at this point, I think they need to dial it up a little bit and maybe cause a turnover. I mean, they're down by 17 and they're running out of time, I think.
Jordan Sipe back to pass. All kinds of, oh, what a great deflection. Mark Gronick gets in the passing lane to force a 4th down.
You know, or they could do that. They just sit back in coverage and execute it perfectly and you shut it down. They had a 3-man rush, and it looked like that was starting to break down. But I think the key there was, you know, everyone was disciplined on the Canton defense and was able to keep a pass completion from happening.
Aztecs booted away. Canton from their own 21-yard line. Gibson on the return to the 29. Max Jackson on the tackle. Man, I'm just kind of taking it all in, Charles. I'm stunned.
I mean, I'm stunned as well, Cam. Was not expecting the run plan for Canton have only, I think they're under 50 yards rushing total.
First down to the 29. Handoff Morris, nothing doing. And Canton's struggling offense will take their talents to the 3rd quarter, where they trail by 17 more than they've trailed all this season. End of the 3rd. Mexico City is 10 minutes away from their 2nd championship. Can Canton stop them? We'll find out after this.
Of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Well, here's some sort of good news for Canton. A hairline arm fracture for Logan Lee. He is doubtful to return, but still not necessarily ruled out. So we could see him back in the ball game. That is going to be an interesting development to watch. Charles Doherty, Cameron Irvine with you, Justin Reside, Rochelle Colston, and Ron Haynes in our stats truck. 180 and counting. Watching the season 23 SFL championship game, where Mexico City, a 4.5-point dog, is up by 17 against the Canton Classics. Toss out to Robert Johnson. He picks up 2.
There you go. I mean, Johnson can do it. I mean, you just give him the reps. I think he can do it. But in this type of game, I mean, Logan Lee's probably dying to go out there, and that's probably a tough decision there for the coaches on what to do.
3rd and 8. Patterson taking off and running it. Dan Tritz brings him down. Scar Patterson had room to run, but Tritz would not let him out.
He was just looking for someone to get some separation deep downfield, but the Mexico City defense, I mean, that secondary, they lock it down, and if you're holding on to the ball too long as a quarterback, you're gonna pay for it. And on that play, Tritz just made him pay for it.
Canton in the second half, as this punt is away. Morrison to the 28-yard line. Canton in the second half, 8 plays punt, 3 plays punt, 6 plays punt, 3 plays punt. As Morrison and the Aztecs will resume offense up 17.
I don't think I've seen the Canton offense play. I get play at this level. I mean, you know, nothing against Canton, but I just don't. I'm used to them driving down the field, putting points up. It just seems like it's probably a brilliant defensive scheming for Mexico City. I've never seen Canton in this type of quandary.
Toss to Ray Bentley. He picks up 7, and that is a blast from the pass. Kanye Rockefeller this time makes the tackle on the sidelines. It's one of the most iconic plays in SFL history when Bentley was able to stiff arm him. Kanye gets the last lap that time.
You got to keep feeding. At this point, you got to keep feeding Bentley and Morrison and Van Dam.
Morrison tackled from behind by Kevin Brackett. He can do anything. 2-yard gain, but it forces a 3rd down.
I don't think that was a good spot, but hey, here we are.
Think he got it?
I think he got it.
No challenge. Van Dam has gotten it on 2, 3rd and short. Opportunities, they'll hand it to Ray this time, and Bentley gets away from the first up to the 44-yard line. Truck with a capital T.
That's what they need. Keep moving the chains, run the ball, eat the clock out, and you can sense the frustration from the Canton fans.
There's Bentley's updated numbers. 34 yards away from 15,000 on his career. 7:46 to go in the 4th. Mexico City can sense it. Kevin Brackett trying to sense a sack, and Jason Bartley does it again.
Holy smokes. That's what you call rapport between your wide receiver and your quarterback. I mean, you got to have the timing just right. Turned his shoulders, the ball was there. You had a linebacker holding on to you from behind, and you're still able to bring that in.
1st down and 10 at the Canton 40. Mexico City is driving again. And there's a fumble, and it's picked. Oh my gosh! Mexico City got it. Jonas Adobe flew out of nowhere and recovered the fumble.
Oh my God, that was a huge play. That was a huge play by Adobe. You cannot understate that. You get the ball back to Canton. They breathe some life in it. They got plenty of time to get back in this game.
Canton had 2 opportunities at the football and could not get it. Sight gets rid of it. That pass is incomplete. 3rd down and 9. Jason Bartley has only had 2 other 100-yard games in the 4K23 era. This is a new career high tonight in the biggest game of his life.
Yeah, he is playing out of his mind. And at this point for Mexico City, I mean, I would try and maybe lean more towards the conservative route and try and eat some time off. I mean, it looks like they're going to go pass here, but they're still leaving a lot on the clock there for Canton.
Cliff Allen said it best in the chat, just not bouncing Canton's way tonight. This is Jordan Sipe on the move as he nearly got the 1st down but could not be tracked down from behind. Rockefeller saves the touchdown, and they're going to punt it, and I don't blame him, Charles, because they got Canton all sorts of discombobulated offensively.
Haven't seen a lot from the offense here in Canton, and you can't, like you said, you can't blame them. the defense for Mexico City looks like it's got their number.
And this is the best bounce of the night for K.L. Barrett Jr. down to the 8-yard line. I thought there for a moment, Charles, they were going to fake it to Morrison. I saw him kind of sneaking down. Well, that would have been a wild play call, but no, Canton's got 6:18 left to save their season.
You and I would have been on oxygen after that one.
Totally. Wow, Canton has to do it and has to do it now. You will not see the no huddle until less than 5. Patterson will drop to throw. Fire down the field, caught by Talon Steele, his first catch since that scoring drive.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that early in the first half. It kind of quieted off, but man, it's what I'm going to say about that about the situation that Canton's in. So they're going to have to pass a lot, but man, this Mexico City secondary, I mean, we've seen them a couple times, Cam. You know, I've done a bunch of games for Mexico City. Their secondary, they're monsters, and they can shut it down. So it's going to be hard doing those long routes against them.
Scar again down the middle. Talon Steele, the defender fell over. Steele all the way to the end zone for a Canton touchdown. They will not go down easy.
That was the same route we've seen Steele run all night. And I'm going to say, Cam, that was not a long route. So what I said earlier was not disproved. It was a medium route. Holy smokes, great route there, one-on-one coverage, and Steele just muscled his way to get the ball and take it all the way to the house.
Jeffrey Daggs went for the kill shot, looking for the interception, could not get it, and Canton scores before they even have to onside kick, so they can rely on their defense. Steele now up to 144 yards receiving and a touchdown, and the over hits on this extra point, good by Rob Ems.
And they needed it so bad. Take everything I say and make the opposite happen. Holy crap. That's unbelievable.
Talon Steele. I didn't know he had it in him. Hey, he ran to the end zone. He really did.
It was kind of weird, Cam, because it didn't look like there was safeties came up on the line like they were expecting a run, and they just got smoked. I mean, there was only one player, deep in the secondary to stop Steele, and it was just one-on-one from that point.
Talon Steele went 8 for 153 and a touchdown earlier this season. This game has a similar feel, but that game was against Nashville, a game they lost.
Right.
The Talon Steele dominated. That was a game we called on Monday night, but no one else was doing anything, and now Ray Bentley has some room. He picks up 7. Canton's got to get off the field.
Oh, man, that was a shocker. Not shocker, but man, that was a lightning bolt into this game that was needed for Canton. Still recovering from that last play, Cam.
There's the updated numbers. Canton now up to 4 yards of play. Toss play out to Jacob Morrison. He lost the ball. 10 recovers. Are you kidding me? King Jamal.
Was king on that play, Cam. Talk about rising to the occasion. The defensive Canton turning the ball over, getting the ball back deep into the opponent's territory. Scar can come out. He's got so many options in his book right now. He's got 5 minutes left on the clock. They need to. I think a field goal be okay in this situation. They just don't want to do something stupid and make a mistake.
Jacob Morrison has been getting so much better over the course of the season. What a nightmare play for the Aztecs. They can't fall on that fumble. Now the toss out to Morris. Logan Lee is still out, and that is a loss of 1.
Man.
Woo!
Tape up Lee and get him out there. Staple his arm to his chest or something. Get him out there.
I'm sure they're all saying the same thing. Go, Logan, go. Fowler with 9 tackles. Canton willing themselves back in this game. Unbelievable. Toss,
No
Robert
give up.
Johnson. Can't get away. Max Jackson with the tackle. 3rd and 9 coming up.
It's Cam, got at least a field goal. Don't try and push it in the end zone. There's plenty of time left to get the ball back, cause another turnover, and you could potentially tie this game.
Here's the problem with that, Charles. They're in onside kick territory. Not if they get the touchdown, though, but if they get the field goal, You might see it, but the way they're playing, they might recover it. Who knows? 3rd down and 9. 4:15 to go. Trying to get the first down to the 17.5-yard line. Patterson retreating. Patterson deep. Incomplete. Dan Tritz and company were applying pressure, and I thought Patterson was going to the parking lot.
I thought one of the defenders had a shovel and was ready to start digging and throw him in it. Holy smokes. I'm so shocked he was able to get rid of that ball. That was one of the deepest drops I've seen all season.
43-yard field goal attempt for Rob Ems. 234 out of 248 on his career, make it 235. It's a 7-point game, 24-17, and the onside kick may be coming for Canton.
Here we go. They had to get points, Cam. Like I said, they got them.
They've scored 10 straight, 4:05 left. If they recover, they would get the ball back again and leave Mexico City's defense reeling. Ems with the onside kick, bouncing ball. Canton touched it first. We'll get one more opportunity.
I was Mexico City. I would have every starter on that onside kick play.
Well, that was close, Charles.
Out there, Bartley out there.
Yep. If Mexico City would now, Bartley has 2 onside kick recoveries for touchdowns. It's worth noting, and he's had an amazing night. Ems kicks it that direction. There goes Bartley. Jason Bartley have a night touchdown. Mexico City. I've seen it all. Bartley is the king of season 23's title game.
You called it, Cam. Wow. I mean, come on now. You kicked it right to him. One of the fastest guys in the league. I've been saying it all night. I'm sure they're kicking themselves. They did not want to have that kick for an onside's kick. Right to one of the best returners. Holy smokes. Made him pay for it.
Wow. Wow. Extra point is good, and Mexico City back up 31-17, but there's still 4 minutes left, Charles.
I know, and I'm looking for oxygen somewhere. Amazing game, Cam. This is you couldn't ask for a better game.
I will say, as bizarre as it is, there have been so many championship games in league history. We'll get to it in a moment as Bob Lung has some room on the return, gets it out to the 33-yard line. So many games in SFL history where the championship team that loses scores 24. In season 19, Arizona did it in overtime. Season 18, Lone Star scored 24. Going all the way back, season 13, Seattle scored 24 in a loss. Season 9, when Mexico City won their last championship, they beat Chicago 38-24. Louisville, an undefeated team in season 7, scored 24 and lost a championship game. I don't know what it is, Charles, but Canton is 7 points away from that magic number as they try to complete a comeback. Scar Patterson going deep. That pass caught by Talon Steele, the 48, no huddle.
Cam, all I know is you're going to have to cancel your voice lessons for tomorrow.
I was going to be on The Voice tomorrow. Patterson, big shot incomplete. Al Dillapre Sr. was the intended target.
He was open, Cam. Oh, my gosh. He had 2 steps on the defender. Oh.
Ooh, missed opportunity for sure.
Holy smokes.
And Dillapre Sr. has just 2 yards on 1 catch tonight. The leading receiver for the team this season. They have not been able to find him. Mexico City bringing pressure. They dump the ball off. That's Morse immediately tackled. Still no sign of Logan Lee. Ryan with the tackle, 3rd and 10. Patterson, 4-man rush, passes incomplete, 4th down.
Oh, hold on tight, Cam. Hold on.
Whew.
They need, obviously. Not only do they need the first down, but they got to be near the sideline as well, I think.
Canton is 3 for 3 this season on 4th down conversions. Patterson drops to throw on 4th and 10. It's no good. Mexico City's defense gets a stop now. They can really smell what the Aztecs are cooking.
And it's perfectly into Mexico City's hands. I mean, all they got to do, Cam, is just hand it off. Even if they get the ball back to Canton, just burn out the clock, let Canton burn the timeouts, and I think they're going to be sitting pretty.
14-point lead for Mexico City. And Buford Van Dam picks up 4, his first run on a non-third down play.
Smart play up the middle. Keep them guessing. Use the fullback. You're getting 4 yards. Perfect.
Second down and 6. The clock will keep on ticking. 188 and counting. Can we get to 200 before the night is over here on championship night of season 23? Second down and 6. Toss, dangerous. Ray Bentley going to lose yardage. Loss of 3, but Kevin Brackett was coming in hot there.
Came in hot. I mean, there's no way he was going to let Bentley get by him on that play. Big third down, Cam. Do you press him or do you sit back in coverage? That's the question.
And do you run it or throw it? I mean, Jordan Sipe has been the guy tonight. Jason Bartley, even more specifically. Third down and 9. They don't have to snap it, but they probably will. The time is razor thin there. Although Noe Terrasas in motion might actually... Nope, they did snap it. Handoff Morrison. He will not get the first down, and Canton has a minute 58 left in him. They will get the ball back.
I thought they were going to run a reverse. I would have lost my mind.
That would have been crazy.
Did you see that? It looked like a tight end, like took a step in. I'm like, here we go.
I did. 2 minutes to go. Charles Doherty, Cameron Irvine with you. Rochelle Colston, Justin Reside, and Ron Haynes back in our stats truck. Mike St. Green and Tyler Falk will break this down in postgame. After this one is done from the 21-yard line, return up to the 23 for Andrew Gibson, and Canton needs some more, maybe Talon Steele magic. Other than Talon Steele, the entire Canton team has 2 catches for 20 yards tonight.
Amazing. That's hats off to the secondary of Mexico City.
.149 to go. Bob Lung goes in motion. The hero for Canton in the last game with just 1 target and no catches tonight. Patterson over the middle to Gibson. That is caught. First time out for Canton used.
Wow. Oh, Cam. What to do? What to do? Haven't seen a lot, with the exception of that one play to Steele, that one fly route. Haven't seen a lot of deep routes that have been effective for Canton.
Patterson over to Owens. Doesn't get much, but does step out of bounds. If Mexico City is able to hold on to win, they would be the 3rd team in the last 4 to be the underdog in the championship game and get the victory. Of course, Florida was the dog last year against Canton. Got it done.
He certainly did.
3rd down and 3. Scar Patterson rolls out, has a lot of time, and now Dillapre can't come away with it. Liam Ryan says no dice.
I think at this point in the game, anytime you're thrown in the middle of the field like that, it's a gamble. You've got those 2 safeties that are just kind of swimming like sharks, waiting for something to happen.
4th and 3. Canton season on the line, although they still have 2 timeouts. Steele in motion. Patterson to throw. Middle. Oh, Steele dropped it. There is an injury on the play. And it's Fowler. So he may have to celebrate with his teammates back in the locker room, but the bigger storyline is that Talon Steele unable to come up with it, and even he cannot pull Canton out of the deficit now.
Oh man, that hit him in the hands too. I'm sure he's gonna be thinking about that in bed a lot. I mean, that's something you don't forget.
Mexico City had not won a playoff game since season 19. Had not won a playoff game in this new era until this season, where they were able to top Carolina, who put up a very good fight in the quarterfinal, and then beat the Minnesota Legend in overtime last weekend in an instant classic 1916.
You can't say enough about the game plan for Mexico City. I mean, holy smokes. Up against Canton, it's amazing, amazing game plan.
And Buford Van Dam, nothing there, 3rd and 8 now, no timeouts for Canton. What do you do if you're Mexico City? A field goal makes it a 3-score game. You probably just run it, right?
Yeah, I would just run it. It looks like they're doing something different.
They're going gun here. Does Jordan Sipe have another brilliant throw in him, or will they hand it off? Buford Van Dam goes in motion. Haven't seen this all night. 3rd and 8. Handoff draw, Bentley, and he couldn't get away.
I mean, you can't hate that.
The clock will continue to wind, and Mexico City will have a chance to increase the lead.
Wow.
If they hit this field goal, it would be the largest margin of victory in an SFL championship game since season 14.
And I don't think, let me look at this. I think that would be the most points scored against Canton all season. I think 30 was 30 the most. Baltimore beat him the first game.
You got it. And that kick is good. So did Chaz Blackwater. He got it too. 34-17 Mexico City.
Holy smokes. I mean, and it's one of their lowest scoring games of the season as well. They scored a couple, put 10 up a couple times, and this is their third lowest.
Well, Charles, if you look back at it, Mexico City probably decided at some point during the week that, you know what? I don't think we're going to be able to run all night on these guys. They're just too talented. We have to figure out how to take advantage of all that pressure they apply in the passing game, and it has worked tonight.
Not many deep drops at all, but I think the key, Cam, I think all of the defensive coordinators in the SFL are going to look at what they ran on defense, see how they shut that outside run game down of Canton.
They held Logan Lee tonight to 39 yards on 15 carries and then knocked him out of the game. His first fumble of the season resulted
it's amazing.
In a turnover. That pass is caught by Al Dillapre Sr. and the 24 points lives on in SFL history. Canton scores a touchdown, and with an extra point will trail by 10.
They're not giving up. You got to give credit to Canton. It was an amazing play there, wide open on the edge. I mean, wow. I'm speechless. I did not expect that to happen at this point in the game. Itera just kind of fell out of coverage there, and the rest is history.
It's so weird, Charles. Like, how does it keep happening?
I have no idea.
Doesn't matter what game. It doesn't matter who's playing. It's so bizarre. 60. That's the second one-play drive touchdown in this game. Jason Bartley had a 65-yarder earlier in the game. Oh, onside kick time for Rob Ebbs.
Buckle up.
And again, Canton was actually really close in recovering that, and my gosh, could Bartley actually get another one?
Here we go.
Chief Spartan saying in 2024 too, no less, the 24-point curse. Well, Could they actually kick it back to Bartley? They really dropped it, and he picked up his own fumble. Are you kidding? I have seen it all, Charles.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
He's so fast, he picked up his own fumble.
I think his eyes were big, and he was thinking about having his likeness on the side of a cereal box.
Charles, Mexico City, how many times was that? 3 fumbles tonight they recovered that they almost coughed away?
Right.
Unbelievable. And out there to take the knee is Larry Love, and you only probably ever hear me do this once because I failed it in college. La Ciudad de Mexico ha ganado el campeonato. Mexico City has won the championship. They did it for you, Matt Wilson. Number 12, 12 forever, 34, 24. The Aztecs are your season 23 champions.
Congratulations to Mexico City. I mean, perfect game plan by Ramos and Dags. I mean, oh my, we joked about them having to stay up all night to worry about that Canton offense and defense, and man, they put the work in. It showed. I'm just so. I mean, both Mexico City and Canton are they're both, the class of the league, and that's why they're here. And Mexico City, just man, there's so many things you can be happy about with the amount of time that Dags and Ramos put in, but then you also got. It's like they started out. It seemed to me, Cam, that they started out with a couple bumps at the beginning of the season, but they just kind of buckled it down and were able to carry that momentum into the playoffs and into the championship. And I'm so impressed with what Mexico City put on the field to come into Canton and walk away with a 10-point victory.
34-24. Canton actually outgains Mexico City tonight, but only 9 first downs, and we never saw Logan Lee come back in after his brilliant season. He came up short, as did the rest of the Canton Classics. Mexico City shut them down, and Jason Bartley, with 2 receiving touchdowns and an onside kick recovery score, nearly outscored Canton all by himself tonight, and he has to be your player of the game, right?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, I'm going to definitely give it to Bartley, but I'm going to give a couple runner-ups. Tritz, 2 sacks, and that pass deflection were key. And also, Yolia, the rookie, was out there flying all over the place. And Jordan Sipe as well had some really impressive passes. He was going up against a defense that just wanted to swallow him whole, and he made great adjustments on the line, quick release, quick decision making, and it was one of the better, if not the best game I've seen him play.
Jason Bartley, in 9 SFL seasons, has spent all of them with Mexico City. Not a single all-star appearance. Not a single season honor at the end of the season. But he was the class tonight for Mexico City. And how about Jordan Sipe, Charles? 16-32, 254. Nerves of steel. Unbelievable.
Again, his command of the offense and his ability to make adjustments at the line against that aggressive defense was again the best game I've seen him play, I think.
Charles, what a great season, man. I loved calling it with you, and we'll can't wait to call season 24.
It was a blast, and I can't wait till next season. I hope I can do games with you if Dags lets me.
Tyler Falk and Tyler Falk and Mike St. Green, will have your championship wrap-up, and what a wrap-up it will be. Mexico City 34, Canton 24. Your final here tonight. We'll send it over to those guys here momentarily. Stay with us.
Campeones, ole, ole, ole. It's Mexico City. The Aztecs take home the season 23 championship game, and they did it in style. Led by Jason Bartley, led by Jordan Sipe, solidified by Dan Tritz. It's the Aztecs 34, Canton Classics 24. Mike St. Green, we were traded to a great one.
Yeah, Tyler, that was absolutely a great championship game. Even though Mexico City, maintained a relatively comfortable lead. If I was Mexico City, I don't know how comfortable I would have been, because I was kind of on the edge of my seat over here as well, seeing how Canton, they were just relentless in their pursuit of trying to get back into this game. But yeah, congratulations goes out to Mexico City. We didn't know which direction that this organization was going to go in a couple years ago after losing Matt Wilson, but man, they've responded well and they've got that championship, and I know Matt Wilson's smiling down.
Absolutely. I think he was there with Jordan Sipe telling him, hey, that timer has to be quick. And I think he was there in spirit, just helping out Jordan Sipe. $199 super chat from Chief Spartan. Las Aztecas son tus campeones del mundo. Viva number 12. Oh my goodness. A brilliant game all day for Mexico City. And Canton's filled with leaders. We saw it with Kevin Brackett. We saw it with Logan Lee, unfortunately, getting hurt. With Robert Johnson, so many leaders on that team, but the Aztecs took the entirety of the team and brought themselves a championship for the first time since season 9. And back to Matt Wilson. Mike Daggs thought he would never touch the SFL again. Wouldn't even be the broadcast director after Matt left. He got into the league because of Matt Wilson. He then starts coaching 3 seasons ago. He lets Ramos take care of the defense. He takes care of the offense, and they put together the best game plan all season long against these Canton Classics. Probably the best game plan against a classic team in the past 2 seasons. It was phenomenal. It was paramount, and it kept the Classics' very dominant run game in check for all 40 minutes.
That was definitely a key to the game, keeping that run game in check. But early in the third quarter, it kind of seemed like the Canton were going to get things going on the ground. That drive stalled out, and then get points out of that early. And then when the Logan Lee injury happened, that was pretty much the end of the run game for Canton the rest of the way. And I do want to go ahead and mention someone that you didn't mention in your comments. Talon still had an excellent game tonight, over 160 yards receiving, that huge touchdown that he had there in the second half. He was great all game long. And you mentioned Kevin Brackett. The dude is totally a game disruptor, and he was excellent for Canton as well. And one other name that we didn't mention on the Mexico City side, Bill Henry, came up with a couple of huge catches throughout this game to keep the chains moving, and that offense was excellent all day, spearheaded by Jason Bartley.
Last season against Canton, it was Art Vandalay, another wide receiver who made a difference, and then he was in the run game. This time around, it was Jason Bartley. He's my pick for MVP of the season. It's a pretty, we have so many great players in Mexico City, but I think Bartley played the best game in a championship game we have seen in quite some time.
No doubt about it. And I'll go ahead and make it unanimous, because we heard Charles mention it, and I'm pretty sure he's the MVP in everybody's book. 174 yards, 2 touchdowns receiving, the huge kick return there on the questionable onside kick, in my opinion, that they went for an onside kick at that time. But Jason Bartley dominated this game, and he's clearly the MVP.
And so that will do it for season 23. Still, minor league action coming up later this week and beyond before we get to the draft and the start of season 24 in January of next year. We hope you stay with us. And for more coming up on the Virtual Football Network, we hope to see you then. We're signing out for Mike St. Green and the rest of the crew. I'm Tyler Falk. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.